Remember when teachers kept canes in their desks? When your mum sent you to the corner shop to buy her cigarettes? When the whole family sat in a smoke-filled car with no seatbelts, and nobody thought twice about it? Every single one of those everyday moments from the 1980s would land you in serious legal trouble today. Some could even get you arrested. The Britain you knew has vanished, and 25 things you did without a second thought are now against the law. Here are 25 things illegal today in Britain that were totally normal in the 1980s. Number 1. The school cane. Walking into the headmaster's office meant one thing: 6 of the best. 6 of the best refers to a punishment of 6 strokes with a cane, typically on the buttocks or hand. It is an informal term for a traditional method of discipline, often in schools, where the phrase is used to describe the infliction of this punishment. That sharp crack of the rattan cane was as normal as morning assembly. Teachers kept them handy. Kids swapped stories about who got the worst whack. It built character, or so everyone said. This wasn't some Victorian relic. This was 1985, perfectly legal until 1987, when state schools finally banned it. Today, a teacher so much as raising a finger crosses the line. The cane that hung in every headmaster's office is now a museum piece. The use of the school cane, or corporal punishment, was banned in all UK state-funded schools in 1987. The ban extended to private schools in England and Wales in 1998, Scotland in 2000, and Northern Ireland in 2003. Number 2. Cars as playgrounds. The back seat wasn't just a seat, it was a wrestling ring. Long drives meant kids bouncing wall to wall, fighting with siblings, even napping on that parcel shelf under the rear window. Seatbelts? Optional. A toddler on mum's lap whilst she drove, 5 kids loose in the back of an estate car, completely normal, until January 31, 1983. Try that today, and you're looking at a hefty fine of up to £500 if it goes to court, and possibly a visit from social services. Child seat laws now require proper restraints until age 12. Number 3. Smoking at school. Knock on the staff room door and a fog of smoke would billow out. Teachers puffed away between lessons. Sixth formers had their own smoking corner on campus. A teacher and a teen sharing a light wasn't scandalous, it was just how things were when half the country smoked. Now, teachers smoking on school grounds breaks the law. The 2007 indoor smoking ban covers workplaces, including schools. The only smoke at school these days comes from the disco fog machine. Number 4. Taking glass bottles into football matches and concerts. In the 1980s, if you went to a football match, a festival, or a big gig, you could happily bring in your own glass bottles of beer or pop. Terraces and arenas would be littered with empties by the end, and nobody thought much of it. It was just part of the atmosphere and the crunch underfoot. After too many injuries from thrown bottles, though, rules changed. There isn't a specific no glass law these days during football matches in the UK. Instead, the Sporting Events Act 1985 prohibits consuming alcohol in sight of the pitch in England and Wales, as well as alcohol on official transport, and having alcohol in your possession in the stadium. Number 5. Kids riding bikes with passengers on the handlebars. In the 1980s, it was a classic sight. One kid pedaling furiously while their mate perched precariously on the handlebars, hanging on to nothing but balance and hope. It was fun, it was social, and it felt totally normal on the way to the park or the sweet shop. These days it's illegal, and definitely unsafe, to carry passengers like that, unless the bike is designed for it. What was once an everyday childhood thrill would now earn you a telling off from both the police and concerned parents. Number 6. Smoking everywhere indoors. Open the door to any pub in 1985, and a cloud of smoke rolls out thicker than London fog. Restaurants, offices, buses, the tube, even hospitals had smoking areas. Your dinner came with a free side of secondhand smoke, your clothes reeked by the end of the night. This was just life. Non-smokers coughed and carried on. Then 2007 arrived. The smoking ban hit all enclosed public spaces. Light up inside a bar or on a bus now, and you're breaking the law. Smokers got exiled to the outdoors. The only indoor smoking left is in old episodes of Life on Mars. Number 7. Standing football terraces. Shoulder to shoulder, packed tighter than sardines, singing until your throat went raw. The cop. The halty end. Standing sections where the crowd swayed as one. No seats, just crushed barriers and pure fandom. This was football. This was normal at top division matches because that's how stadiums were built. Then came the disasters. By 1994, regulations forced major stadiums to become all-seater for safety. Standing terraces became illegal in the Premier League. That electric atmosphere of the packed terrace vanished overnight, until 2022, when they introduced safe standing with rail seating, but nothing like the free-for-all roar of the 80s. Number 8. Video nasties. The local video shop was the Wild West. Horror films that never passed cinema censors sat right there on the shelf. Driller Killer, Cannibal Ferox. Gore fests with lurid covers that teenagers could cheerfully rent because there was no law requiring age ratings on videos. These video nasties caused a moral panic. By 1984, the government clamped down hard. The Video Recordings Act made it illegal to sell or rent unrated videos, effectively banning the nastiest films. Today, the idea of kids renting Chainsaw Massacre uncut would get shop owners prosecuted. Number 9. Smoking in cars with kids. Dad at the wheel. Mum navigating. Both puffing away with the windows barely cracked. The kids were coughing in the back seat. Those clip-on ashtrays everywhere. Horrifying now, but completely normal then. Nobody questioned it. Fast forward to 2015, it became illegal to smoke in a vehicle carrying anyone under 18. Light up with your kid in the car, and you risk a fine. The law finally recognized that turning the family car into a mobile smoking lounge wasn't great parenting. One more 80s habit went up in smoke. Number 10. Leaving dog mess everywhere. Watch your step. Constant advice when walking down any British street in the 80s. Dog waste dotted every pavement and park. Those notorious white chalky piles after they aged in the Sunday. Dog owners simply left Fido's gifts wherever they landed, completely legal. Nobody had to clean up. Then 1996 arrived with the Dogs Fouling of Land Act. Suddenly not scooping the dog poo became a criminal offence. Fail to bag and bin it now and you're looking at a £1,000 fine. The carefree 80s attitude of leaving it where it lies is now very much illegal. Number 11. Kids buying cigarettes. Mum hands you a note and some coins. Off you go to the corner shop to fetch her cigarettes. You're 10 years old. The shopkeeper doesn't blink. This was a normal errand for children. The legal age was 16, but enforcement was basically non-existent. Many stores looked the other way. Today, this is a major no-no. It's illegal to sell tobacco to under 18s, and penalties are severe. The legal age jumped from 16 to 18 in 2007. Modern shops ID anyone who looks under 25. That charmingly dangerous practice of children buying smokes for their parents has gone up in flames. Number 12. Drinking in public. Cracking open a lager in the park. Enjoying a beer on the bus home from work. A gent swigging cider on a high street bench. Commuters with carry-out beers on the train. All perfectly legal and unremarkable in 80s Britain. No widespread laws against public drinking existed. Since then, regulations tightened hard. The London Underground banned alcohol on board completely. There isn't a general UK-wide ban on drinking in parks or public places, but it depends on local councils. Local authorities can issue public spaces protection orders in areas where drinking is linked to antisocial behaviour, giving police the power to confiscate alcohol and stop people from drinking. You must be over 18 to drink alcohol legally in public. Number 13. Buying penny sweets individually from jars in the 1980s. Every corner shop and newsagent had a wall of massive jars filled with cola cubes, sherbet lemons, rhubarb and custards, and other classics. Kids would hand over 10 pence, and the shopkeeper would count out 10 sweets into a little white paper bag. Totally normal then, but today many of those practices are gone. Strict food hygiene laws and packaging rules mean sweets are now pre-bagged or weighed differently, and health standards have tightened up. That charming ritual of pointing at jars and asking for 10 cola cubes and 5 pear drops has disappeared, and in many cases, it's no longer legal to sell loose sweets to children in the same way. Number 14. Leaded petrol. The smell of 4-star leaded petrol was the signature scent of every petrol station. All cars drank it. It gave engines extra oomph and pumped clouds of toxic lead into the air. Completely normal. Few worried about the environmental or health impact. Then, Evidence mounted that lead in exhaust was harming children's brains and poisoning cities. Britain phased it out through the 90s. By 2000, leaded petrol was banned for road vehicles. Eventually, every country banned it. Today, you can't legally buy leaded fuel for your car, unleaded or nothing. What was normal petrol is now illegal brain poison. Number 15. Asbestos everywhere. That fibrous mineral we now equate with cancer was once in everything. Buildings full of asbestos insulation. Schools with asbestos ceiling tiles. Even household items, oven gloves, hair dryers. It was prized for fireproofing. People didn't grasp the grave health risks. DIY enthusiasts might see asbestos cement in the garage with zero precautions. Over time, the deadly link to lung disease became crystal clear. The UK progressively banned asbestos types, blue and brown in 1985, white by 1999. Now it's illegal to use asbestos, and removal is heavily regulated. The 80s wonder material is now a health horror, strictly forbidden with hefty penalties. Doing so now would be a criminal offence, and anyone involved could face severe penalties, including unlimited fines or imprisonment for up to 2 years, depending on the severity of the breach. Number 16. Teens using tanning salons. Sporting a mahogany tan was high fashion. Teenagers flocked to tanning salons to top up their bronze. 15 years old with some pocket money? No problem. Salons happily let teens use coin-operated sunbeds. Buy a tanning session, no questions asked. Normal and legal for minors to fake bake under UV tubes with zero sunscreen. Health concerns eventually caught up. The UK banned under 18s from commercial tanning beds in 2011. Now it's illegal for tanning businesses to allow anyone under 18 to use a sunbed. That eager 16-year-old would be turned away by law today. The orangey teen tan of the 80s has been safely left in the past. Number 17. Dumping hazardous waste. Got old paint, used motor oil, dead car batteries, half a tin of pesticide? In the 80s, you'd chuck it in the bin, pour it down a drain, or sneak it into the regular rubbish pickup. People were blissfully unaware of the environmental havoc. Few laws stopped you. Disposing of household chemicals casually was common practice. Now it's strictly illegal to dump hazardous waste improperly. Regulations and designated drop-off sites for electronics, chemicals, and paint. Pour your used engine oil into the gutter or toss batteries in the park bin, and you're looking at fines or worse. The carefree 80s attitude of out of sight, out of mind for toxic rubbish is now met with legal consequences. Number 18. Smoking on aeroplanes. Flying in the 80s came with a free dose of second-hand smoke. Smoking on planes was completely normal and allowed. Airlines had smoking and non-smoking sections, which meant little because the whole cabin ended up smoggy at 30,000 feet. Flight attendants would offer coffee, tea, or cigarettes. You could merrily puff away in your seat, even on long international flights. This changed late in the decade. By the late 90s, nearly all airlines banned it. The UK and EU fully outlawed smoking on all passenger flights. Speaking of aeroplane, you could also just knock on the cockpit's door to take a look and the captain wouldn't mind. Unlike today, where that would get everyone alerted on the plane. Number 19. Playground death traps. The local playground was paradise for children and a health and safety nightmare by today's standards. Towering metal slides that sizzled in the Sunday dizzyingly tall jungle gyms. Monkey bars over rock-hard concrete or tarmac. Kids climbed, fell, skinned knees, all considered character-building fun. Many playgrounds still had asphalt or concrete surfaces in the 80s. Soft rubber mats didn't exist yet. Minimal safety rails. This was normal, with few laws mandating otherwise. Modern safety standards now demand impact-absorbing surfaces and safer equipment. If a council left a playground with solid concrete under the swings today, they'd be sued and violating safety regulations. Those adventure playgrounds have evolved into cushioned, risk-assessed play zones. Number 20. Kids buying fireworks. As Guy Fawkes Night approached, even children could pop into the local shop and purchase fireworks. Sparklers, rockets, big bangers. Many newsagents sold them over the counter. Look old enough, or have an older friend, and you'd walk out with a bag of Roman candles at 14 or 15. Semi-normal for teenagers to experiment with fireworks unsupervised. Today, that's been clamped down hard. It's illegal to sell most fireworks to anyone under 18 unless it's Category 1. Category 1 fireworks in the UK are very low hazard, low noise, and can be used indoors or in small spaces, including indoor sparklers and Christmas crackers. Sellers need licenses. You can't buy them year-round except from licensed dealers during certain periods. The casual 80s practice of youths running their own mini bonfire shows would get shopkeepers prosecuted and kids in big trouble. 21. Playing fruit machines underage in pubs or arcades. In the 1980s, every pub and seaside arcade had noisy fruit machines flashing away, and kids often played them freely. It wasn't unusual for an 11-year-old to feed 10-pence coins into a nudge machine while their parents had a pint. It was technically legal back then, and culturally just seen as harmless fun. These days, gambling laws are strict. Under the Gambling Act, 2005, fruit machines are not permitted in takeaway food shops and other non-arcade premises such as cafes and restaurants, minicab and taxi offices, guest houses. Fruit machines, slot machines, or one-armed bandits, as they are sometimes known, are commonplace in most pubs and are also found in amusement arcades and casinos. Playing them is a form of gambling, and as such, it is illegal for anyone under the age of 18 to use them nowadays. Number 22. Playing on construction sites. No trespassing didn't mean much to 80s kids seeking adventure. An unfenced construction site or old abandoned building in the neighborhood. Local children would slip in after hours to play builder, climb scaffoldings, or make dens. Relatively normal for kids to explore building sites unsupervised. Many sites weren't securely fenced off. Whilst technically trespassing, it wasn't enforced like today. Every construction area now is locked down with warning signs everywhere. Modern health and safety regulations require builders to secure sites to keep out wandering children. Trespassing on a building site can get you or your parents in legal trouble. The site manager could be liable if anyone gets hurt. That thrilling rite of passage of playing in half-built houses has been consigned to 80s nostalgia. Number 23. Cars spewing black smoke. You'd often see cars belching thick black or blue smoke from the exhaust, a trusty old banger puffing away down the road. Emission standards were lax. Vehicles weren't fitted with catalytic converters. MOT tests for emissions weren't stringent. A smoky exhaust or the pungent smell of half-burnt petrol was just part of the atmosphere. Environmental laws caught up. Catalytic converters became mandatory on all new petrol cars from 1993 to cut toxic emissions. Today, a car visibly blowing smoke would fail its MOT test and be illegal to drive until fixed. That clapped-out cortina leaving a smog trail is now basically against the law. Number 24. Using mobile phones whilst driving. Only a few high flyers had mobile phones in the late 80s, those brick-sized beasts. By the 90s, it wasn't uncommon to see drivers with a phone clamped to their ear, chattering away whilst driving. Back then, it was legal. No specific laws about it apart from general drive safely rules. People treated car phones as status symbols and would casually take calls at 70 miles per hour. Since December 2003, it's been illegal in the UK to use a handheld phone whilst driving. Get caught and you face fines and points on your license. Now it's 6 demerit and a £200 fine for a first offence. That totally normal 80s behaviour of having a chinwag on the car phone is now explicitly against the law. Number 25. Selling glue to kids. The sight of youngsters sniffing glue or solvents was sadly not uncommon. Glue sniffing became a social concern. Yet before 1985, shops could legally sell solvent-based products like glue, lighter fluid, aerosol propellants, to any age. A teen could buy a tube of model glue or a can of butane without questions. Unfortunately, some did so to get high. Normal transaction. Shopkeepers weren't liable. That changed when the Intoxicating Substances Supply Act 1985 was passed, making it an offence to supply under 18s with any substance if you believe they intend to inhale it. Many shopkeepers refuse to sell certain glues or fuels to kids at all. Today, it remains illegal to sell solvents to minors when misuse is suspected. And these are 25 things that are now against the law. The Britain you remember didn't just change, it was legislated out of existence, piece by piece, year by year. Teachers with canes, kids buying cigarettes. Families smoking in cars with the windows up, all gone, all illegal now. Some understandable, others not. What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And I've got plenty more nostalgia coming your way.